Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to The Sims 4, and welcome to the final part of all of those apartments we've been building slowly but surely over the channel. You'll see some of them here in the background as we're building, and we're doing the sort of like, I guess you would call it the foyer, or like the hallway, the public spaces for this little apartment set up on this rooftop in San Myshuno. I almost debated not posting this because I was like, well, it's just like an entryway. It's just public space. Is it really going to be that interesting? And then I was like, well, maybe it would be because I intend to do some fun things with it. So here you can see I'm putting in all the mailboxes to start. All 6 on the first floor because that's only fair to the mailman, right? That's the only way to be fair to the mailman. And then I put both trash chutes on this floor. Probably could have done trash chute on the second floor, but I think it's okay. It'll just encourage them all to come hang out in the main spaces here. And then I put a little package table to start, because like, I was thinking like Amazon packages, which isn't really a thing in the game, but you know, like Amazon packages or like the, you know, medication delivery and stuff, things that won't fit in the mailbox, they could leave there. It's not like super ideal. In The Sims, it doesn't matter so much. You'd want like an actual, in a building of this size, you'd probably have a mail room, to be fully honest with you, but again, it's The Sims, it's whatever. And then on this floor, I decided I just wanted kind of a cool hangout space, right? A little like conversation flowing out into the hallway kind of space, hanging out. There's some beautiful views from this little window area, and it's just kind of cozy. And I was noticing, because I've been helping a friend kind of look for apartments, I was noticing that's more and more of a trend in apartment buildings, is like these like sitting spaces. Maybe there's like a communal kitchen, there might be like a communal outdoor space. Some of them have like dog runs, things like that, and some of them have co-working spaces. And so I was kind of building off of that idea. So here I was like, well, this would be a really fun place to sit and talk. And like, I don't know if anyone else's mom did this growing up. My mom could talk to anyone. It's a trait on that side of the family. My brother got it. I don't have it. Well, I have it a little bit, but my brother really has it. Just every person they've ever met is just a friend they don't know yet, right? Like, nobody's a stranger, just a friend they don't know yet. And they can talk to anyone all the time. Tell you something, taking those people grocery shopping is an event. Especially my brother. My goodness, bless him. He's always like, okay, we're going to be really quick going shopping. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to be really quick going shopping. And then he's talking to everybody in the aisles. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go finish shopping, I guess. Anywho's and ways. The point I was making is my mom used to stand out and talk to the neighbors all the time. Anywhere, over the fence, across the car, you know, out in their driveway, out in our driveway. We lived on a little like dead end street behind a gas station. It was pretty cute, pretty secluded, but still like lots of people. You know, and the way the houses were all lined up, we actually kind of looked almost into our neighbor's backyard from the front yard, so we talk over that fence, and we talk over the pony fence. Anyways, I can't tell you how many times my brother and I would be like inside doing homework or whatever, and we'd be like, it's getting late, Mom should have been home an hour ago, and we'd just go beat up and outside, you know, like walk out in our little stocking feet, which makes everyone really mad because you're not supposed to go out in sock feet on the concrete, but whatever, you know. And we go walk out, and Mom's been out there for like an hour just chatting with the neighbors. So that's what I was kind of imagining here, right? Is like a cool little place to chat with the neighbors, sit out and enjoy, especially because a lot of these apartments are like single people apartments or like brand new couple apartments. There's not a lot of space for kids until you get to the second floor. So I was thinking like, this would be a really great way for like your single Sims to mingle and have their community, especially because a lot of these apartments are also like very sort of, they give off creative vibes. Might be kind of fun to have a community of like-minded individuals living here. I did put some vending machines in for a quick treat. That way if your Sim, you know, lights their kitchen on fire, there's still an option for food up here. I was kind of thinking about things that would be useful in a public space or a more public space, you know. And I put the little corkboard up to kind of give a little bit of realism. Stuck plants kind of everywhere because we have like several plant Sims in this building. And I was like, it would be really cute if they just like kept kind of like communally, there was like an understanding of like, yeah, we're just going to sort of like let our plants spill out into the public spaces because everyone enjoys them and we'll just kind of communally take care of them. I thought that was kind of a cute idea. And it sort of blossomed into this even bigger idea, which wasn't part of the original build. This was a last minute add-on, but I thought it was kind of cool, that you'll see here in a little bit. I'm going to just like kind of keep that to myself for a second, but here in just a little bit, you'll see the kind of cool idea that spawned at the end. And then, okay, I know the wallpaper is a choice, and I'm not like the most committed to it, but I wanted to do kind of an ode to like the funky like wallpapers and the funky like carpeting usually that happens in apartment buildings. And The Sims doesn't really have like, we have like really interesting geometric wallpapers, but they're kind of, I don't know, they're busy, I guess. And so I just kind of rolled with it, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go with the super busy green, even though like this isn't probably like my first choice overall. I just kind of rolled with it. I was like, it's fine, it's green, it does what I want it to do. Here I was trying to figure out like a runner situation, because I still wanted the wood floors at least somewhere in the foyer kind of area. I don't know what we're calling this, public space, but I wanted, again, that kind of carpeting vibe. So I do end up putting carpet in here, give it a little bit of time, which honestly I thought was kind of funny, because for those of you who have watched like this little sort of like mini series all the way through, for lack of a better term, you know that I delineated all of the apartments originally with really bright carpeting colors. So bringing back the kind of like crazy carpeting kind of made me laugh a little bit. I was like, it's a little bit of an ode, it's like a throwback just a little bit. And I did a little cutout to kind of make it seem a little bit more intentional. On the second floor, I was really excited because I had this idea of like a co-working / game space, which, okay, in real life would suck so bad because you're sitting there trying to work and someone's playing games. But I just thought it would be kind of fun to have some tables up here. Maybe a kiddo needs a little bit of a change of pace and they can do their homework out here. Or maybe you work from home and you're just really tired of working at your kitchen table, so you just decide to come out here for a little bit, work on just a table. Again, another corkboard type situation for a little bit of realism here. And then I put a bunch of bookshelves in to try to make it look a little bit cozy. I was trying to figure out a fun, like, I was trying to make it look kind of built in. I think it works. It's not great, but it like kind of works. It turned out okay. I like the wood detailing. It kind of warms it up a little bit. And just so many different bookshelf options to make it look like there's like, I was thinking like it would be kind of cool if like it was sort of the apartment's version of like a tiny, what do you call them, those little traveling bookshops or whatever they call them, where it's like the little neighborhood bookshops, I think is what they're called, or little neighborhood libraries, I think is what they're called. People will put like these they almost look like overgrown birdhouses up, and they'll put books in there for like the kids and stuff to check out, or neighbors to check out. And the idea is like neighbors bring books that they want to share and put in there, and it's a pretty cool little system. And so I was kind of imagining this was like maybe the like this suite of apartments way of doing that. Like you put books on the shelf that you don't mind sharing, and then someone might come and take that book for a little while, and then they might put a book that they don't mind sharing, or a book that they loved, or maybe they know there's kids in the building, so they go and they buy their favorite childhood book to put on the shelf so that they know the kiddos can access. You know, like that's the kind of thing I would do. Is like I would go buy like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom was like my favorite book growing up, and I would just like make sure there was always a copy on that shelf, so that if there were kiddos in the building, they would just like be able to have that book if they wanted, that kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea, especially with the co-working space idea, the collaboration space. I also thought it'd be a cool place if you're gonna do like make like a community club. If you have like get together, you could make like all the people in the apartment have like a club for like, I don't know, you could call them like neighborhood watch kind of style meetings, and then you could use these tables up here for planning those kind of events and stuff if you wanted to, for whatever club activities you might want to do. You could use the downstairs space for club activities as well. And then for club activities, you also then have access to like the vending machines and stuff. Although if you were going to do club activities here with the people in the building, they all have access to their own bathrooms and kitchens and stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But I went ahead and put this little ping pong table in here. I almost called it a foosball table. We all know that's not right. That, my friends, is a ping pong table, or a table tennis table. Actually, it might be a table tennis table. There is a slight difference. I suck at both, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it is important to some. So I'm not sure exactly which one it is. I should actually look at the name, but I didn't. I just enjoyed the idea of there being, and I liked the idea of that table versus like the foosball table, because this table looks like it would fold up and move out of the way. So if you wanted to do that storytelling where like that disappears for a little while, so like, you know, maybe in your use of this space, your kiddos with homework need a homework space, like those projects that have to sit on the floor and they have to work on them, you could always move this table out of the way and make this main area like homework project space, right? They could build their little volcanoes and stuff out here. Or perhaps like maybe you have a sim who's like an artist, and so like the group communally decides that can be where they paint their mural, and you can make the floor look like it's a canvas and they've just got their big mural laid out there while they're working on it, and everyone just kind of recognizes like, hey, they needed that big space, so we're letting them have that big space right now, kind of thing. There's lots of stories you could tell, because I'm imagining everyone in this apartment complex kind of gets along. That's not true to real life. I recognize that, you recognize that, but it's The Sims and we can pretend. Or you can have all kinds of different relationships and just let that one play out too. There's lots of options here, but I liked the idea of kind of like, this is the last 2 floors. It's very clearly like walk-up space. It's very clearly kind of disconnected from the rest of the building, like it's an add-on or something. And these guys have just kind of found their little community. They've decided, like, you know, we're kind of very clearly different from the rest of the building, so let's kind of own it. And I went with a really strong green thing. Here's the kind of sort of pseudo surprise that I was excited about that spawned out of this idea of all of these lovers of plants living in this apartment. I don't know how many times I said while building out those apartments, like, man, this sim would be really happy in like Henford-on-Bagley or honestly anywhere where they could have a backyard. I was gonna say like Copperdale because of the weather and stuff there, but like really anywhere. So I had this idea of like the rooftop garden, right? Like the couple of sims or the single sim or whoever. I kind of imagined it started with one sim. Here's the story I was telling, right? I imagined it started with one sim who was like, I really love gardening. I wish I had a garden space. I'm going to talk to the super and get permission to use the roof. And the super was like, I don't care as long as you don't do something stupid and fall through. Right? Great. And so they started like bringing little things up here. And then maybe they got their buddy to help them build these sort of like rustic gardens out of railroad ties. And these little like little bins out of those look like barrels to me, right? So they maybe got some barrels from like the Home Depot kind of thing and built this thing out. And then it kind of became like more and more people wanted stuff. So maybe someone came and set up the vertical shelves because they wanted to contribute to the garden. And someone else brought like more railroad ties in. And then they were like, well, you know, like maybe it was like the mom and the kids were like, well, we can't really like build railroad ties, right? So we're going to like put up a different kind of planter. And so that's where like some of the fun planters come up, like some of the terracotta pots and some of the like, I think there's a drawer that gets hung out here and stuff. And like all these like, I put like a bathtub in here because I was like, you know, maybe like the artist sim was like, oh, I'll contribute to this. This will be really, really fun. Like, I'll put a bathtub out here and fill it with stuff. And like, you know, maybe like the kiddos did a school project and that's why those are in the bucket kind of thing. Like that's the kind of stories where everyone kind of got super into it. They're like, yeah, we can totally have a community garden up here, and everyone just kind of contributed in their own little way, and it kept getting bigger and cooler. And so like there's a good mix here of like places your sim could plant things and just decor plants so that it looked like it was already kind of lush, because you know, if you don't move a garden or sim in here, it's gonna look a little bit sad, which is fine. You don't have to engage with this. You could also turn this into a gym. You could also turn this into a total party zone. If you move like a bunch of like tech bros in here, you could put like those gaming rigs up here and put a bunch of covers over the top and have it be like a total LAN party up here. Maybe you think about that in the rain though. But see, like these drawers and stuff, I was thinking like, how fun would it be if like maybe like you have like a mom and kids story or something, because I'm gonna have a mom and kids in here, and they were like, well, look, we don't really have the time to like deal with buying pots and getting them planted and stuff, but we have some starts from school or whatever, so we're just gonna put them in these drawers we don't use, and they can come up here. And then I wanted the like plants to be kind of overgrown up on the wall a little bit, and I was trying to figure out how to do that. This took a little while. I believe what I end up doing is the plants that are house plants, those pots I used to make it look like these started in pots and then just kind of kept growing. What that means is it kind of sort of, if you squint, looks like they're growing out of pots, but it also means you can use those pots to grow houseplants if you want to. Now, so far, I'm going to be real honest with you, I have done nothing but kill houseplants in my personal save, but those are up here too. So you have small gardening plots, big gardening plots, and a couple houseplant pots, as well as decorative stuff, which means you can grow trees and I think most crops. Now, nothing under here is covered, so you would have to get a cover. You'd have to get permission from the super to put a cover up here to keep it in line with the story if you wanted your plants to be protected, which, considering the amount of work the community has put into this, I don't think would be a huge problem. I'm sure your super would be okay with it. Having said that, in real life, probably not. And then we do put a little table and chairs out here, just because I thought, like, if you're gonna have this beautiful garden, obviously you're gonna want to be able to come sit up here and read, or this would be the place where I would do homework. If I was able to, this would be the place where I would have done homework all the time, like if I lived in the city. And then of course fairy lights, because who are we if not gonna cover everything in fairy lights. They did sort of kick my tail. I will tell you, this got a little difficult. I had some issues with the camera, and you'll notice it a little bit, I think, in the screenshots. And I think you can kind of notice it here too. There's been some stuttering and some stepping and stuff. I tried to hide most of it. I think I got most of it, but like you can kind of see it in here. When you get this high off the ground, or just off the bottom of the lot, when you get to about 3 or 4 stories, and this is technically the 3rd story, the camera starts losing its mind just a little bit. It gets a lot harder to kind of get things done. You can definitely see that a little bit. It's not bad in live mode. In build mode, it gets a little bit fiddlier. And for the record, the ground here is what's the word I'm looking for? Painted. It's got flooring on it. Painted doesn't quite make sense here, but it's got flooring on it. The grid kind of hides it, but it does have like a cured concrete, so it is painted, so your Sims shouldn't get to the like funky moodlet. Although I've been kind of annoyed lately. No matter what I build, I put my Sims in a house I've built, and they throw a fit. They're like, oh no, this is so awful. I can't believe you built this. And I'm like, this is some of my best work. Maybe not this foyer necessarily. Like, let's not toot our own horns too hard here. But like in general, I've built some things that I've been really proud of lately, and my Sims have walked in and been the snobbiest. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. But here we're hanging out in the screenshots, and I've been talking your ear off. I hope you enjoy this one. It's a fun little way to wrap up the apartments, and it's something I don't think maybe we think about so much, is like the little in-between spaces when you build an apartment complex and stuff. I had so much fun with this project, though. This one was crazy fun. It took a couple of months for us to get it done, I think. Actually, probably even more than that, because we kind of spaced it out. But I really like this as like the final piece, the community really coming together. But anywho's, I hope you're having a good day and you're feeling loved. And if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you're here hanging out. You make the world a better place just by being you. Next up, I think I've got some beach boxes for you. I think. We'll see what gets edited next. It's been kind of a weird one getting stuff done, but we'll see. Anyways, hopefully we'll look forward to that. And I'll catch you next time. Okay, love you, bye. Mwah.